I would make like a picture that was just a picture of a butcher knife. And then the title of it underneath this, "Here is your knife, Kenneth." And that's what the thing is.
Jinkies! We should prepare for some kind of tussle. Rough housing may be an occurrence.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. Yes, indeed, son of a gun. It is raining. It was raining partially while I was out walkies last night, but it's really raining. I got to bed very late, slept moderately well until toward the later part of the morning, and then awake since about 4:30. Yay! But doing well aside from hacking and wheezing, so yay on that. Feeling much more positive about things because, I'm depressed, yes, but I have biochemical depression. It used to be every 2 weeks I'd go down, every 2 weeks be normal, and that went on for decades. Now it's much more random, but when it happens, there's nothing for me to break. It's just, I can't break any cycle of thoughts because it's chemicals, not thoughts. I just got to grab hold of the safety bar and hang on for dear life while I ride the depression train. But I've been feeling much better, so that's a very good thing. And of course, front loading of videos, thumbs up for that. If you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be very, very cool. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. Excuse me. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people are in fact literally beautiful and literally awesome. My disability does not keep up with the cost of living, and without the help of these people, I and my kitty cat and my hamster would be in dire straits indeed. So thank you, each and every one of you. If you'd like to become a patron, links are in the video description, wherever that happens to be for your device. As well as, if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I have a PayPal link in that same video description. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, I have an Amazon wishlist link with stuff like cat food on it, so thumbs up on that. Front loading the video's over. Yay! A good thing. Or sort of, yeah, kind of. I have to keep looking at my list because unmedicated, I have no functioning ability to think, remember, or concentrate properly. So on my topics list, I was just thinking, just before I was starting to record. Now I'm gonna belch. Excuse me. I drink sodas and I have gas that gets trapped in my stomach because I'm a human being. My difference is I don't edit it out of the videos. I have often said that I am a frustrated avant-garde videographer. A lot of things have kept me from being able to do that. My various, the depression, the ADHD, not realizing that I am an autistic person until just this year. There's a whole bunch of stuff that has stood in my way. But if I could have been an avant-garde videographer, I certainly would have, and I don't know why. When I'm thinking of these weird little projects to do, because on my creative channel I've got a whole bunch of little weird things on there, they're all very dark, very grim. Even if they seem happy and friendly, the underlying message is that of darkness and grimness and usually mass death. Why? Don't know. And in fact, I was just thinking about, if I was not even just an avant-garde videographer, but just an avant-garde artist, the first thing I was thinking of is the various videos that I make, I would make like a picture that was just a picture of a butcher knife. And then the title of it underneath this, "Here is your knife, Kenneth." And that's what the thing is, just the picture with that caption. The video project that I started immediately thinking on that is still called Here's Your Knife, Kenneth, and it's focused on the video on the knife. And while nothing bad is ever shown, oh boy, is it implied that Kenneth uses that knife on everybody in the apartment and then himself without actually showing it. So I don't know why I keep going dark, but life is life. Hey, let me check out. There's also, I'm not quite sure what my thoughts on this one are, but I think about things and worry about them. When I say worry about them, it's like a dog chewing on a bone, worrying at it that way, just going and chewing on it. Yeah, that sort of worrying at it. My thoughts on anti-heroes is complicated, because there are good anti-heroes that are on television, and then there are bad anti-heroes, and then there are the for laughs anti-heroes, and I have in my head a complicated relationship with them, because I don't like just common thuggery and common murder and such like that. If someone is just a common thug, a common criminal, I don't see anything cute about that. It's not funny or amusing, it's just common thuggery. And I don't mean thuggery as in, like thug life and all that. I'm not speaking of anything that. I'm speaking of just sheer murder through the ages of human history. Dregs of humanity, not any cultural thing. So, when I see characters that maybe are likable or are trying to do something, when they descend into just taking someone out, that always bothers me. And I'm the guy that likes to have human death as humor in my stuff, and I still get bothered seeing it in my media that I consume. So I don't know. I mean, what is the difference between an anti-hero who shivs someone in an alley to get, something going to make sure they can continue their quest, and someone who just shivs someone in an alley because, hey, I like shivving people. Now I got a dead guy here. Thumbs up. I don't see a negative. I mean, where's the functional difference? I don't know. And yet I, too, being a human being, will still celebrate, in fictional media, seeing the anti-hero leaving a trail of corpses behind them as they do their job. Whereas if you put that into a different format, or you just said, okay, they're doing this not because they're trying to save somebody, but, because they're just trying to get this substance that they can inject into their veins. Same character, same situation, same story, but the motivation's different, and that changes everything inside here, doesn't it? So, I don't know. My view on anti-heroes is rough. Let me queep. I'm not gonna queep. I don't know how you would queep. Luckily I'm not saying other words, but queep, I guess that's a sound like a small bird would make. I was also thinking about, because I've been thinking about my cryptids and my cryptid setting a lot, about how it's one of those settings that is perfect for short form horror stuff. Because it's within my setting, and even within the cryptid setting, there's no real magic or supernatural. It's all just manipulations of the matrix of the cryptid energy that's flowing out of these various doorways and into the world. So even a ghost cryptid type is not a supernatural ghost. They are just a self-perpetuating pattern upon the energy matrix caused by the quantum knotting of intelligence. That's why they're a ghost. The original meat body and meat person is gone. They died. But this continuation goes onward. And these are the various things that happens with the cryptids and the struggles that they have. And it's just, for me, it really, really means something. Part of it is my huge struggles for identity myself, especially in this past year. I mean, my underpinnings of everything that I thought I was have changed entirely this past couple years learning about why I am the way I am and finding out that the way I am is not my fault. It has been a huge change in my mental status. My worldview has altered entirely. I am under a huge thing, still trying to figure out now who I am, because everything that I thought I was is not, and things that I did not know that are symptoms of things that I have are. It has been a huge shakeup. My world has changed entirely. So largely, it is that I cling to as well for my cryptid stuff. It is these struggles for identity, who I am, what my place in this world is. This is why I like my cryptids and the cryptid stories that can be told. Yes, they can and do kill and kill often, and some of them enjoy it, but most of them don't. Unfortunately, the cryptids, 99% of them, 99 and a whole bunch of 9% of them have cryptid programming. Only that small percentage doesn't, but they are cursed. But I will come back to them. I've talked about them. That's most of them, the 13th kind. Now that I've wandered so far, let me try and figure out again what I'm talking about. I know I was talking about short form horror and how it is perfect for that because of the various things. I've even thought about haunted house settings. Strong feelings, strong emotions. It didn't take heavy enough of an impression from the person who suffered these things, and so didn't form a complete pattern and ghost type cryptid. But the feelings and emotions are there and formed into the energy of the cryptid matrix. That can inhabit a home until it fades. And if you have something like that inhabiting a home, you can have Western horror type haunted houses because it's got fear, anger, and hatred that is a part of this pattern in the matrix. And it also works quite well as the sort of, I don't know a ton about it, I got ADHD, but one of the cursed houses / haunted house stuff in Japanese mythology is something bad happens in a place, that place is now cursed. It doesn't matter if you are an innocent, you enter into that place, those feelings, that cursed thing that happened is going to harm whoever goes in there. That fits too. So there are a ton of things that can be explained and exploited for stories and such. That sounds so mercenary. For the cryptid setting, and that's very cool. I do enjoy that because I like making things fit together like a puzzle. That's one of the things that I really enjoyed so much about the free-flowing creativity when I was having my ADHD medicated. Before, it was just all these small chunks and works on bits and pieces, but what was happening then is I would press a piece and it would click together, and then it would click against the next piece, and then the whole chunk would just fall into place. Wham! Whereas before it was always working on small little bits, it went thump, this huge piece. And as each other pieces fell into place, this large chunk here would join now with this piece, and wham, becomes all one piece. There's still hope. Stratera is going to come. So we'll see if this non-stimulant ADHD med can bring back flowing creativity. That would be good. Let me see what else I have on here. Oh yeah, there was a thing I'd mentioned. How they use stacks of skulls periodically as glamours, because glamours can be anything. It's just an object, a collection of things. It is a mathematical thing that happens with the glamours in this setting so that you can travel from layer to layer. Part of reality, part of the way things work in this setting. There is something, and I thought about this and it was just following my creativity while walking. And I've had to do this for quite some time, thinking about this, because yeah, I've mentioned that you'll find like piles of skulls, and then those are used as as glamours. At this point, and people are very worried about this, and I'm going to have to think about this more because of that. Yeah, there is either one being, or a bunch of beings, or a species, or a race, or maybe it's a creed and others follow it, or it's an animal or bunch of animals. Nobody's sure, because the only thing people know is that there is that range of we're not sure that is forcibly removing, against the owner's wishes, human heads, gathering them up and then storing them like squirrels store nuts on various layers, and then forgetting about them. Or at least it is assumed that is what has happened, because you will find, just like and it's largely on the outside, a little bit on the inside and the razor's edge, and only a tiny bit on the inside and closest to the doors leading to the razor's edge. But yeah, you will, it doesn't happen often, but it happens often enough that it's not rare that there'll be another stack of heads somewhere, and no one ever comes to claim them, and they just start to rot, and then eventually it's a bunch of scattered skulls, and nobody knows where, why, or what, and that's terrifying. Especially since I was thinking on a thing to do for a story, put into the Razor's Edge setting for the project and the book stuff, is these people who do find in their town a stack of these heads. So they'd put the heads on a table so people can come up and say, do you recognize anybody? And so everyone looks, and they're doing okay, except, one person, yeah, that's actually married to Shane. Out of all of them, it was actually a townsperson for the first time. So they're having to deal with that. Find your neighbors. They're gonna go check out the married to Shane house, make sure it's her. They gotta stick together, travel, don't be alone. Make sure you've got somebody who's got a functioning mobile phone. But be careful, because something out there is removing our heads now too. And I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Gonna go through and thank however many people have left me comments. It's never much anymore, but you know what? Anything more than 0 is awesome. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my brain works unmedicated. So, Confused Owl 29, thumbs up, and here's hoping. Alicia Bergman, greatly appreciated. JYY, thumbs up, and well, thank you very, very much. And Ben B, yeah, well, here is hoping, thumbs up, and thank you. Jesse Koskinen, greatly appreciated. And Lucas, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce David, however, of Dusk's fame, but he is an interesting individual. Not Kuro, thumbs up, and thank you. Wasabi covered nuts. That is still a funny name. And ow. And Psycho Jazz, greatly appreciated. And I am hoping, here is hoping. Sebastian Ferris, greatly appreciated. Yeah, I think we're up to 10. And then there is Dedrick444, greatly appreciated. And then there is a name, and looks like I can't tell. I think it's actually Korean, but I could well be wrong. Thank you very, very much. And that is it. 12 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people. Thumbs up and thank you. It is greatly appreciated. Well, hokey smokes, it is a Saturday, so it's going to be a lazy weekend, and that the people that I would have to call if I could make calls, well, it's a weekend, and they're largely government agencies, so they're closed. So for me, it's a lazy weekend. I just got to do the things I have to do. More Oblivion today. I got actually more than 1,000 views on my Oblivion video stuff. So what did I do? Did I strike while the iron was hot? Well, no, I did a dusk video. So now I'm going to do some more Oblivion now that nobody cares. I don't know how to do YouTube. But hopefully you will be able to figure out your life better than I know how to do my life. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And quite frankly, I do think that that is, in fact, a very good idea.